the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Right, well, I feel welcome. Dit is my home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
Good morning, Reds, all over the world. This is Mick Ruby. I'm back. I'm back in my old chair. I'm back after flying 13 hours to watch Manchester United play in my home, basically. We're talking about Sevilla, Manchester United 2, Sevilla 2. And let me say, we deserve another paella trip, another cerveza. Sevilla is our bogey team. Let's face it. It's always been like that. Even if we beat Barcelona, even if we beat Real Betis, Sevilla is our bogey team. But looking at it, with a fresh pair of eyes after sleeping on it, like 12 hours sleep after, I still woke up with a question mark on my forehead, thinking, what the hell just happened? That sleep didn't help. I'm still wondering, like, how did we allow this to happen? Let's break it down from a realistic perspective, because barring the first half, barring that we saw, like, the lineup coming up, I was very proud to see that that lineup was strong. I really liked that lineup, to be honest. And, in the first 21 minutes, we were bossing the game. The first half, we bossed the game. And Marcel Sabitzer, let's talk about Sabitzer. He scored a brace within 21 minutes. Marcel Sabitzer looked like a prime Cantona. Sign him up, actually. I always been a big advocate and fan. If we can get him for 20 million, it's a no-brainer. Like, Sabitzer, for me, has come through. He's starting to find his feet in Manchester United, and he's actually enjoying playing for United as well. But the first half, man, was sublime. We could have been up 4-0, 5-0 in the first half if we finished off the dinner, right, to be honest. But that didn't happen. Lady Fortuna and the Paella team is our bogey. That's what it is. So we go in second half, come out with injury from Varane. In come to the frame comes Maguire. And now I see the PTSD fans around the Twitter tweeting, oh my God, Maguire in. Players on the pitch also looking backwards, like, the sheer confidence that Varane is gone, looking back, can we rely on this? Should we cotton wool wrap the defense around Maguire? No, Maguire did quite well, actually. The second half, according to my opinion, was a little bit of a letdown in terms of Erik ten Hag's in-game management, which has been kind of flawless during this season, what we've seen so far. But coming out in the post-match interview where Erik ten Hag was saying that the fourth official was whispering in his ear that both Bruno and Anthony was on a barge to get a second yellow, hence why he made a decision to take them off around the 60th minute mark. According to my opinion, that was a little bit too early, Eric. That was a little bit too early to do the subs, to take them off. And the key moment coming to the 80th mark, like, we fast track forward where actually Martinez get an injury. That was right. We are screwed. Martinez get an injury. Pray to God for his healment and what it might be, right? But matter of fact, we managed to play with 10 men the last 10 minutes, and that was where we had a brain fart, according to my opinion. Total meltdown. How can we go from 2-0 up at Old Trafford to 2-2? Look at the second half. There was probably not the best of games in terms of, you take up your first team players, you mix it up with Elanga, we're mixing it up with Pedestri, thinking that, okay, comfortable pushing 2-0 up, we're going to see these games out. But football is football. This is the game, right? It's the Newton's law of gravity. What goes up must come down. And karma is not on Manchester United's side at the moment, because the aftermath of this is all the injuries. Forget about the 2-2, because I still believe we can go to Sevilla and get the job done. Yeah, because Sevilla didn't look threatening. It didn't look dangerous at all. Like, matter of fact, the 2 goals that they got on the score sheet was our own OGs by our players. And there was kind of unfortunate, freak accident goals. The first goal of Sevilla, ricocheting of Malacia, ricocheting of De Gea. There's nothing you can do about it. It's pinball. Like, everyone that plays pinball knows that the ball was very fast. And in the period where Malacia was taken off and we were not allowed to put in another sub because we exceeded our substitution with a certain period of time frame, the ball ricochets off slab heads. Some people call it slab head in the media. I wouldn't go that far, but ricochets on Maguire's head and surpasses De Gea. There's nothing you could do. He was standing in the line of fire The ball comes like a bullet against his head, and that's it. 2-2. We were shocked within the 10 minutes. And this is all in the 10 minutes where we couldn't make the sub of Lisandro Martinez. Who's to blame, actually? I don't know who's to blame. I've been seeing the Twitter meltdown, people going in on, Ten Hag things, in-game management, wrong substitutions. To a certain degree, I can agree. Well, you can look at the application of certain fringe players not being up to standard. Yes, correct. But what does it come down to? It comes down to the Glazers. To the Glazers, the greedy bastards. They gave Erik ten Hag 4 signings in the summer. But what has Erik done so far? He tried to make the best out of his team, work with what he's got, with 2 hands tied behind his back, right? Rest assured that there will be some clearance in the summer, but the players that we've been working with comes so far from Jose Mourinho to Ole signings to Ragnick signings, etc., etc. So it's a bag of goodies where you can work with and cannot work with. The question is, can you get a tune out of these players on Sunday against Nottingham Forest? Can we go to Sevilla to win that game in Sevilla? Of course we can. We got to believe we're Manchester United. Never say die mentality, right? And I'm sure Erik ten Hag has a plan. He probably woke up this morning and thought the same thought as we. How did this happen? Sabitzer, what a player. To get a brace, I thought Sabitzer was on the verge to score a hat-trick, right? And we could have been 3-0 up, but Lady Fortuna, as I said, this is a funny game, football. It's all about luck at the end of the day in terms of application. Anthony, his goal that went almost in, hit the crossbar on the left side, could have gone in, it could be a 3-0. If we had scored 3-0, that would be a different application from Erik ten Hag to do all the substitutions like Elanga, Pelestri, who else came in? You know what I mean. I'm still a little bit jet lagged after my flight from Thailand. So am I worried? Yes, I am. Do I think we can qualify through to the semis in Europa League? Yes, I believe, but it's going to be a tough call. It's going to be a tough call. And barring that, hopefully Marcus Rashford will come back. We still have Eriksen to play in the midfield together with Sabitzer and Casemiro, even if Bruno got his yellow card, which for me was never a yellow card, suspended for the return game. In terms of the attacking line, we've seen actually Anthony Martial, got to give him the roses. He looked fresh like a daisy. He was linking up. He was dangerous. He was the old Martial. So now that he got a couple of minutes under his belt, I think Martial can do some really good damage work against Sevilla in the return game as well. Jadon Sancho has not really found his form and confidence, but Jadon Sancho, we saw that in the first 27 seconds that Jadon Sancho is a lethal weapon. But of course, that was an offside goal. Anthony Dos Santos, I thought he did a fantastic game, actually. Other than that, the ball didn't go in from Anthony's side. It was all about Lady Fortuna. But all in all, we cannot down tool right now as a fan base. We need to believe. We need to back this team, back this manager, and continue singing Glazers out. Because at the end of the day, it is the Glazers' fault for not backing Erik ten Hag in January window. What are we supposed to do with Hurst and stuff like that? These are B-Tech players, according to my opinion. We need to go in the summer. With barring with the new owners, we need to find the players that fit within Erik ten Hag's model play style. That's just my realistic opinions. Realistically speaking, we have a game on Sunday. It's a bounce back. We're playing Nottingham Forest. 3 points is very, very important to solidify that top 4. At least if we get to 3rd or 4th, doesn't really matter for me, as long as we get that Champions League spot, because we don't know. If we cannot qualify through and if we cannot win against Sevilla, we don't belong in that competition. This is Mick Ruby, Mufc Realist TV. Have a good weekend and see you on Sunday. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.